Welcome to another episode of Vegas Views. Dawn Sullivan. Today I have Kiera Simone with me. Hi, Kiera. And I have a special guest, King New. So before we get started, guys, I just wanted to say welcome and welcome to Tuesday. Welcome to noon. Here we are, Las Vegas. Guys, if you're just logging in right now, be interactive with us, please. Tell us your thoughts and your feelings. I'm sure you're going to have a lot of opinions. I have a couple of opinionated people with me today. And we don't always get along. King New is brand new to us, but Kiera and I have been on this platform together sharing and being heard from you guys. So I appreciate all the followers. Love you guys. Let's get started real quick with some Rise news. If you don't know, now you know. I own Rise Talent Management, own and operate a talent agency here in Las Vegas. This Saturday, we have an audition for hosts. We are looking for hosts for actual This Network, so social media shows needs hosts. This Saturday, if you would like to be on this show as a host doing what I do, from 12 to 3, we're looking for male and female hosts, I believe over the age of 18 or 21, I'll ask production, but be at Rise Talent 12 to 3 on Saturday. If you are interested in going to New York with us in July for the International Model and Talent Association Friday at 5 o'clock, we are going through all of the information. That's for modeling, acting, singing, or dancing. If you are a singer, please make sure that you are a trained singer. If you're a dancer, please make sure that you have years and years and sometimes decades of training. If you're an actor and you come in brand new, we can probably get you in shape enough to get there by January. And definitely if you're a model, we can get you ready. So there are some requirements, but please come check us out. www.risetalentmanagement.com. Rise Talent LLC on Instagram. Come and find me. Okay, we got all that stuff out of the way. There are some more auditions. Swim Week, don't forget about that. And a couple more modeling auditions as well. I'll let you guys know at the up there. Tell us a little bit about your experience growing up in the East.
Well, first off, I'm not from the Jersey Shore. I'm not from none of the TV stuff.
Okay. So you're not fist pumping cabs here? Nothing like that. Okay. Do you remember Jersey Shore?
I do. Snooki.
Yeah, that was
do. So that was when I was in high school, and super embarrassing. But my junior year yearbook picture, I definitely had the bump right here.
No, you didn't.
I absolutely
wore the
did.
Snooki bump?
I wore the Snooki
I don't
bump.
believe she wore the Snooki
I'm gonna go
bump.
find it. I have receipts.
So
I have the Snooki bump.
You know how this show is live, and then what we do is our amazing editor Maria. She will edit everything. I'm gonna have Kiera's Snooki bump picture put on the bottom.
I had a Snooki bump.
You guys,
I had a Snooki bump for my junior year.
Well, you need to find
out. And my titties were just out, there.
She's got to do this.
It was a lot.
We are 4 minutes into the show.
I'm sorry. It was just I was thinking about the picture. It was very a lot.
We had a conversation right before this, and I said, Kiera, please do me a favor. And the whats are out. Come on. What if children are logging in?
Children should be at school. How about that?
How about that? Catch me outside. Right?
How about that?
Stay in school.
There's a lot to stay in school.
So, like, to the children watching, go back to class.
Remind me about that after we're done talking to King New, but there's something going on with the Catch Me Outside girl. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, isn't she pregnant or something?
No, she was pregnant. She had her baby. She survived cancer, but she's about to beat up Alabama Barker. Do you know who that is?
She has some music beef, yeah.
She does have music beef right now with Alabama Barker. Do you know who that is?
I don't know who the other girl is, but I know.
Alabama Barker is the daughter of the drummer, Travis Barker, who then married Kourtney Kardashian.
Oh.
It's his little girl. She's 19 years old now, but there's a lot going on with him. Anyway, okay, so be good, okay? I asked you one question. Be good. One question about Snooki and your boobs got involved. How'd that happen?
Jersey.
Because Jersey! The bump and titties! Welcome to Jersey.
Yeah, man.
So, not from the Jersey Shore type of... Okay.
Nah, I'm Atlantic City, despite what other people might know it as being like a tourist attraction. It's probably up there with some of the worst places in New Jersey to come up as. And,
really?
Actually, there's 3 neighborhoods specifically. I'm from one of those 3 neighborhoods where, it's notorious for crimes and such as like robbery and shootings and murders and things like that. So, I would say it was a little tricky coming up, but
How young were you there? This is like little boy era. Like you were like 8, 9, 10 years old there?
So I was born in the city, and then just growing up, my mother did her best to keep us away from that. But as I had other situations developing in my life, a place that's dangerous to other people ended up being one of the more safer places for me to be at.
Ooh.
And so I just gravitated back to my original habitat and kind of became a product of my environment.
Okay. Let's talk about that a little bit. And just so you know, King New, we get a lot of viewers here that come and watch us because we do talk on this platform a lot about the truth and a lot about reality. Clearly, we don't hold anything back. Not when Kiara is around, but we
Sorry.
don't. It's okay. We love you anyway. We just don't hold anything back. So if you can be completely transparent, because there are people out there watching right now that are probably going to hear your story and be like, oh, okay. Like I could come up in my life after going through
Right.
some of these hard times.
Okay. Well, I mean, shoot. So I wasn't always. I didn't always have this rough exterior that I have now. Like when I was a boy, I was just your typical little boy. I wanted to have fun. I wanted to do cool stuff with my friends. Like I really didn't have the type of behavior that I grew up into in my mind. But after losing my grandmother, a lot of things just I just stopped caring. Like the world just wasn't the same as it was. You know, all the color, all the feeling, and the warmth, all of it was gone, and nobody was really capable of like tending to me as the boy that I was in that time period, and so it all turned to anger. It all turned to anger, and um, there was other people around me at that time that figured out how to use that anger, and what began as like me just lashing out ended up turning into a lifestyle, and I ended up getting kicked out of two of my high schools. I ended up being in a homeless shelter because I was beefing with other neighborhood gangs in the area, and people knew about me and they didn't want me in their house because trouble would follow me wherever I was going, and so.
Let me ask you, King New, at this point in your journey, did you think to yourself, like, this is not me, or you were like, this is me? Were you so angry? And with the grandma passing and all that, were you like, this is who I am now? Or were you more like, no, I'm not this person, but I'm just becoming something different?
I feel like I was just too caught up in everything. Like I didn't those thoughts didn't really come to me until after the fact,
Okay.
and the damage had already been done.
Yeah.
And I was just like, damn, like I wish I could have had somebody else I could have went to. And don't get me wrong, there were people who tried to reach out. There were people who tried to speak, but they were like within like the school system, and that only lasted till school was out.
Yeah.
And then soon as it was out, and like I said, there's trouble would follow me. There was police that knew me by my first name in multiple different cities, so it was just like I was just forced into that corner, and I was too young to get a job, so I wasn't able to supply myself with any legal money.
So all of this was before you turned 16.
Yeah, well, it was around the time like 16, 17 years old, and in the midst of all of this happening, I had gotten involved with like a high school gang that I ended up forming it myself because I was originally with another gang, and it was again a high school gang, and a bunch of Latin Kings came into the neighborhood, and these dudes wanted to side up with them, and I felt a certain type of way because we did like a whole little ceremony, binding ourselves to each other, and then next thing you know, a more reputable gang came through, and these guys want to go with them. Like what we did just meant nothing. So I took my aggression out on them, and in that same time, I ended up getting caught up with some legal issues that ended up putting me on probation, and it was a whole bunch of stuff that just kept happening, and it ended up forcing me to go to New York because my actions, I didn't have too many options. I'm not really somebody who take too much without retaliation, and I felt like the people that were acting on me were people that wouldn't had acted on me if they knew if my restrictions weren't there.
Sure.
That
makes
so
sense. Yeah.
to get away from the temptation, I went to New York, but again, my behavior became a lifestyle, and I ended up doing the same stuff in New York, and then I went to Philly and started doing the same stuff in Philly, and went back to Jersey. By the time I made it back to Jersey, it seemed like the police had forgot about me because, for as much as a problem as I was, of course there were bigger problems going
Sure.
on in the city, so they're not going to spend their whole, salary looking for me. And when I went back, I had the mentality of starting to develop that I wanted to do better. I didn't want to just keep, moving around and, not
Let
certain
me
what my
ask you
future
for
was
the
going
for
to
the
be.
viewers that are watching right now, especially young people that may be in the situation and stuff. How hard is that lifestyle? Like, was it a hard
Oh
lifestyle?
man, it's crazy. It's crazy. You don't get a second to relax.
Your mind's always going.
You have to, because there was a point in time I had the police looking for me, and I was staying at other people's houses, and despite what people talk about as far as loyalty and being down for your people and stuff like that, when the pressure gets delivered to somebody else that they don't feel like it belongs to them, they quick to give up information. And I had people giving up information and location on me 24/7, to the point that's why I had to go to New York, because it was a point in time, a buddy of mine, he had a party at his house, and he was like, oh yeah, come stay tonight, you good. And I went there because it was going to be a bunch of people, and at the time I didn't have a phone, so there was no way to really track me. And I went there, I got super lit, um, and I woke up the next morning. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, I got something just telling me I gotta leave. I ended up leaving, and like a week later, I ended up getting the dude that whose house I was at ended up getting a wire to me, got somebody to get a hold of me to let me know to call him, and that's when he told me, like literally an hour and a half later, the police came looking for me at his house that one night that I was there.
And you knew to leave.
Yeah, I just it was just a feeling. It was just I got to get up and keep moving, and
King New, do you feel like your instinct has helped you?
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Like you just know. You
Yeah.
just know. That's, yeah.
I feel like through my instincts, I have a strong connection with God and my natural behavior, and as long as those two things align, then I'm full set. No, I don't question anything, and
So you have enough. I love this. Actually, I love hearing this. So at this time in your life, you know you're not doing right. You're not living a great lifestyle. You're doing illegal stuff, but you still know that God loves you enough that He still has your back, because you weren't ready to get locked up that time for whatever reason. So God was like, "Hey, get out of here real quick," and this is not right for you. So He's gonna clean you up when He decides you're
Right.
ready to get cleaned up.
Well, in the wise words of DMX, there's a difference between doing wrong and being wrong. You know, and at that time I was
Can
on.
you repeat that? I love that. Do it. There's a
There's a difference between doing wrong and being wrong.
Okay.
And I just even though what I was doing may not have been illegal or the best idea for anybody, I did the best that I could with the choices that I was given.
Yeah.
And my pride and my integrity were always put up front first. I never, for all the time that I've been homeless and out on the street, I never begged for a dollar. Everything I had was mine. I earned it, and there was nobody who could take anything from me.
So you would say you are 100% a survivor. You have survived things that are unimaginable. Just homelessness in itself is, I can't imagine. I've never been in that situation. I can't imagine thinking, I don't have a house to go to. I don't have a shower to jump into. I don't have a bed to sleep in. Like, that is just
It's
terrifying
lonely.
in itself.
It's
Yeah.
lonely. It's crazy lonely. But it helped me get through a lot of the process, because now you deal with people who have issues with not knowing who their real friends are and stuff like that. And my thing is follow the leader all the way. And I keep people that around me that can help sharpen and mentor my mentality. And anything else is, if you behind me, stay behind me. If you by my side, let's take this on together. And if you in front of me, I feel bad.
Do you know that what you just said is so important? Guys, if you're out there and you're young, even if you're not young, if you're old and you still don't know this yet, and you're struggling, because it happens, right? They say, and I think you and I actually had this conversation last night, the top 5 people you associate with are most likely going to be the biggest influences in your world. So let's just hypothetically say your top 5, your first top 5 is a drug addict, and then an alcoholic, and then somebody beating the government for taxes, whatever your things are. Okay, not super bad things. These are your people. This is your crew. These are the people you run with. These are the most people you talk to. eventually you will start to slowly or quickly become just that. If the top 5 people you talk to are people of faith, business owners, not saying these are the best people at all because please, but people of faith, business owners, whatever they are, people of success, people at the gym, if those are the top 5 people in your phone, you're kind of going to be like that, and you're going to gravitate to what's good or what's bad. That's just human nature and who we are. We are developed and put on this planet for connection.
Yes.
And even and as you're telling the story too, and I'm hearing your journey, I'm thinking, wow, when you were talking about the gangs and the Latin Kings, like, you were kind of pissed at these guys because that shit meant nothing what we did. You guys went off with this gang. Ultimately, I'm reading, and I'm like reading you, and I'm like, he's just searching for a connection. As crazy as that sounds, whether it be in a gang person or in someone you're in love with, or a wife or a husband or kids or stuff like that, we are all searching for human connection. That's why we're put on this earth. So I think it's kind of insane. It's we're all in search of the same things, but we have totally different upbringings. Let's talk about upbringing and what you have learned now with children. So for instance, like, you know what put you in the position that you ended up. How can parents avoid ending up putting their children in that position that you were put in? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
are you with me? Did that make sense? That was a lot, and that was a loaded question.
I say just listen to your kids, man. Listen to your kids. Comprehend what they're going through. You know, I've read somewhere that children ain't nothing but drunk adults in little bodies.
I love that. Children ain't nothing but drunk adults. Yes, we work with like a lot of children, so yeah, they're like drunk little adults, falling all over the place, sliding on dirty floors.
Yeah. And
Little drunk kids. Okay.
And most of the things that they experience, and they only have like a small amount of exposure to the world, and they're experiencing everything for the first time. And some people may have felt different about my methods with my kids, but I don't sugarcoat nothing when it comes to my kids. My thing is like, when it comes their turn to engage with this planet and take on everything else that this world has to offer, I want them to feel as though that they've been prepared as best as possible, and just making sure that they know how to guard their heart and their mind.
No, you have a little girl,
Yes.
and her birthday
Is today.
Her birthday is today.
Yes,
Okay,
it
tell
is.
me her name so I can shout her out real
Her
quick.
name is Emelinda Jesus.
And Melinda, happy birthday here from Las Vegas, some social media shows. Happy birthday, baby! Happy birthday, baby. Your dad is awesome. We love him. Yes, so these are things that are so valuable to young people, because I don't think even as parents, like, we look at it and say, we don't keep up with what can prevent our child from being like this, and this, or what can prevent them. We think of, like, we all do our best. You know, we're going to do our best to make this work and hope that the child ends up okay. But I love what you're putting out here. Listen to your kids. Like, that's so important. Listen to what they have to say, because you're right. They only have a certain amount of exposure to this life yet. They're brand new.
Yeah.
And we don't always know what they're hearing. We don't know what they're feeling unless we're hearing.
And that even brings me to my next point about it. Sometimes as adults, and in all of our experience, we develop tunnel vision around what we know and what we don't know. And with a child's perception, even though it is developing, they might see things that we don't. You know, there's been times that my son, for example, he's super. Well, I mean, they're all smart, but my son's my older one, and he's like super independent.
Okay.
And there's been times like I try to play jokes on him here and there, and he's caught me tied up in my own jokes. And I'm like, damn, I didn't even think you were thinking like that, you know. So and it's just like, it's iron sharpens iron, and if you breed iron, then you, as a family, you'll continue to sharpen yourselves. And you know, that's the best advice I could give to anybody. Just be open with your children, you know.
Can I ask you, I know that your upbringing and a lot of what has gone on has not been comfortable, has not been okay. Your path has been, kind of sounds wild and crazy.
Yeah.
Are you grateful for it because now you can give back? You can give back to children, you can give back to parents. You have a story like no other that people can learn from. Like, you can educate so many people by just living the life you have. Are you grateful on that note for having gone through this stuff?
Yeah, I mean, again, I have to quote DMX. He says,
We love DMX here,
yes,
huh?
yes,
We do.
yeah.
Okay.
He says in one of his prayers, "If it takes for me to suffer for my brother to see the light, then give me pain till I die. But please, Lord, treat him right." You know, and I believe that not just for my brother, because I do have siblings. I'm the oldest out of everybody, but I'm a protector at the end of the day. You know, and if it takes for me to go through and learn and experience everything that I've done, and it means that they can learn from my own mistakes and become better, then I'm fine with that. You know, I know we're not here forever, and it takes sometimes the smallest actions and the biggest ways to change the world. And if my bloodline could do anything to make this place a better place, then I'll be happy to be a part of that.
That is just absolutely beautiful. Coming from, it sounds like you were like a gangbanger. You were doing your thing. You're doing like crazy shit in this world. Police after you, they know you by name, and you're literally trying to make this world a better place now. So something flipped in your life. Now, we're going to get into your music in just a little bit because, yeah, it's not over for this guy. He's actually a way up and coming artist who's incredible. His music is amazing.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. When did it start to flip for you? Like, I got to start living right. Like, I got to just do good.
I remember the day actually. I was super drunk. I was super drunk.
Don't the best realize like the best epiphanies happen when we're drunk. On everything I love.
Yeah.
Wait until you're drunk and you will have the life-changing moment.
Yeah, man. I was super drunk and it was the middle of the day, and we was just up to no good. Like we were just being hoodlums, and I used to be bad. Like I used to harass strangers, ridiculous. Like it was bad. And one day I was just sitting there and I'm like, because in Atlantic City, for people from Atlantic City, like really from Atlantic City, if you're there, you barely leave. Like the closest Walmart is like 30 minutes away.
Really?
Yeah.
In AC?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like once you're there, you're there. And I remember thinking like, damn, there's got to be more to this life than just what we do every day.
Yeah.
Like there's got to be more than looking forward to a good paying casino job.
Yeah.
Like and that.
So that was never you to
Yeah,
go and just stick. Okay.
Nah,
Gotcha.
I was, even though I got kicked out of most of the high schools I went to, the last high school I went to, I graduated Atlantic City Viking, and I was the only kid in my high school to graduate out of my own apartment. I was 19 years old in my own space, and that right there was such an achievement for me because the path that I was on, nobody expected me to graduate. Nobody expected that I was gonna stick to it. But once I got into the homeless shelter, shout out to the Covenant House. I stood there. They would take me to and from school. All I had to do was show up, and I went to prom and out of the homeless shelter. I graduated out of my own place, and to me that was a sign that all right, you can do.
You're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I took that and kept moving.
And God was with you the whole time.
All day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you feel that back then, or do you look back and say, "Oh, God was with me for this, this, and this"? Did you feel it back then, or you were too wrapped up?
I'm happy that you asked me this too, because I realize this with other people. When things get bad, people tend to be like, "Oh God, why me? Why me?" For me, every time things got bad, and I was still alive for it, I would thank God. Thank God for allowing me to be.
To still be.
Like there was. I remember there was a night because I did get kicked out of the shelter a couple times. Just people gonna test you wherever you go. And one of the times I got kicked out, I didn't know what I was gonna do. Like my grandmother wasn't having me at home. I wasn't talking to my mother. My father was locked up, and I had no idea what I was gonna do. And I got kicked out with like 6 other people, and we kind of banded together, and we found an abandoned building, and we checked the abandoned building ourselves. And I'll tell you, this place was torn down. I mean, we went upstairs. There was a hole through the floor, or at the top of the stairs. You had to walk around it like it looked like a movie, And I stood there, And I was just grateful that I was able to find somewhere with shelter that I could sleep. It was cold as hell. You know, like this is in the middle of the winter time. I woke up the next morning, the wind cut in my face. But I was still grateful to have surrounding walls to even make that better than what it could have been if I just slept outside on the bench. You know?
The
And
most amazing people come at things with a grateful heart.
yeah,
You're
man.
coming at it with a grateful heart in such unfortunate circumstances, and you're still able to say, "I'm grateful that this thing even has walls."
I'm proud of the strength that God gave me. You know, if he, you know, we've all heard it. You know, God gives his hardest battles to his strongest soldiers, and I always felt like the challenges that I faced was always kind of a compliment to what I could truly achieve. You know?
Now that a lot of that's over, and we all have struggles, I'm sure life's not like the, this peachy thing, and we all live through struggle and stuff. Now that a lot of that season in your life is over, do you ever look back and think, like, how did I survive? Like, how did I do that? How was I, like...
I mean, back then, again, it was mostly my instincts. You know, the challenge for me now is navigating through my life now without reverting back. That's
Ooh, let's talk about that, because I could relate to that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one, and I'm yet to have told my story. Last night, I actually told you a lot of my story that the public doesn't know. A lot of close people to me still don't know. I keep myself... I'm a very private person for a reason, because of my own past, and I will be doing an interview pretty soon where I'm going to let it all loose. I'm going to let everybody know what's going on with me.
They deserve it.
Yeah, but that is a huge thing for me. I have a hard time. I was this way, and then I'm this way. The world still circulates around me. How do I navigate the new way and not my old way? Because I want to be my old person, because that's what comes naturally to me. And when I have to step outside what's natural to me, it is so difficult. And it's with anger. It's with retaliation. It's with, we joke and everything in the office and says, it's because I'm from New York. But there is a mind frame from people from the East. We're very, an eye for an eye. We talked about yesterday. What was the other one that we said yesterday? Not an eye for an eye. Two wrongs don't,
Two wrongs don't make you right, but it does make you even.
Two wrongs don't make a right, but it does make you even. It's almost like a mentality, I think, that we grow up with in the East, and then when we're taken out of that hard, because we are from, major cities, that it's hard to grow up there. It's not easy. It's not like we were like palm trees and sunshine. We were like, it's not easy. It's different. It's just different. And it's hard when you're grown and then have to face some of those challenges, and how do you react? Like me in traffic, I don't blow up. Someone cuts me off, I might have a 2-second, like, go yourself, whatever. Where something else might tick me off to the point where I'm like, or something will go down, and I'll just go, ooh, you guys are so lucky that this is happening right here now and not from where I'm from, because it doesn't go down like that where I'm from. And do you understand that? How do you navigate that? Look, let's say someone does something to you. It's offensive. You are already a guarded person. You already got walls of steel. You already been through everything. You're a protected person. You're protective of the ones you love. How do you navigate that and not go to your old ways?
My purpose is bigger than my existence.
Ooh.
My purpose is bigger than my existence. I've already suffered losses from not controlling my temper. And last time I had an episode, I got locked up, and I lost custody of my daughters, and one of my closest friends lost his life. And I strongly feel that had I not been locked up, that would not have been the case. So because of that, I always think about, I phrase it as, you can't take me off the chessboard. I'm King Nu. I'm the protector of my family. I push my family in the direction that we're moving, and if I'm not here, no one, I don't feel as though, is conditioned enough to take my place without there being significant loss. And so I have a responsibility to other people that I care about versus this person who I can not easily care about.
I love that. Guys, do you hear what he's saying? Oh, if you're caught up in anything right now, or if you're walking down the street, or you're going to hit a 7-Eleven and something happens, can you say that? Your purpose, what did you just say?
My purpose is bigger than my existence.
His purpose is bigger than his existence. His reasons, his family, his children, you have 2 daughters and a son, right?
Yes,
2 daughters and a son. These things are more important to him than the whole picture. This is his purpose. So guys, remember that if you're getting into a confrontation or something goes on, or you have so much to live for. The one thing that I find a lot, and this is unfortunate, and drugs and alcohol play a large role in this, but you see these sad mistakes happen. Like a guy gets into a car, a young man of 24, 25 years old, and he's like, oh, I just had a few drinks and smoked some weed with some friends with him. He gets mad, this was on the news the other day, gets mad at a girl and cuts her car off.
Mm-hmm.
But 2 innocent young people in their 20s, both end their lives before any children were born, before their education's finished, before they had a chance to live
Right.
in this planet, and they're dead over just some anger. He was just a little mad. Do you know what I'm saying? Cuts the car off the girl. Both of them are dead people. Like, you have to think before you act, and that's, I think, unfortunately, that comes with age. In my opinion, it comes with age. That you really well, for me, when I was young, I didn't think. I was a non-thinker. I was a doer. I would do things, and then after the fact, be like, "Oh man, I made it out alive out of that one."
Shoot first, ask questions later.
Shoot first, ask questions later. So I'm so grateful that I'm in the position. How about for yourself, Kira? You were kind of a good girl. You kind of did what you were supposed to do.
I didn't get caught.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I just didn't get caught. I was a hellion on wheels. Oh my goodness. Like, I'm pretty sure I would have sent my mama to an early grave had she known half the shit. Like, there were things that she just never found out. Things that to this day my daddy still does not know and will not find out. That I was. When
you look at your daughter now, you probably are so grateful that she is not like that. You have a good little girl. Like, she's good. I almost think, like, no offense, I love you so much, and I can say this because I love you, but I almost think, is this for real? Like, you're like as wacky and crazy, and your child is so well behaved, so sweet, so kind. Like, her heart is so gentle. Like, she's such a nice little girl and kid. Smart. Like, all the good things about a little kid. And then here's you. It's amazing.
So
but you're crazy.
Well, so I was her though.
Were you that good?
I was a golden child. I had straight A's. I participated in everything, and I did great at everything. Because you know me, I'm very go big or go home. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna be the fucking best.
Yeah.
And I was like that as a child too. So it was like I was involved in everything. I was the best at everything.
Oh,
I
so
had
you were
straight
sneaky.
A's. I was sneaky as fuck. I was so low key with my shit. That's why I'm saying I was a hellion. I didn't get caught. So there was this persona that, I was really a golden child. When I tell you, everybody in my life had put me on this pedestal. Kiera was that one. Oh my God, she's so smart. She's so this. Look at her. Oh. Like that's the way it was in my life. And so when I popped up 19, unmarried and pregnant, everyone was like, and I'm sitting here like, well, I guess we having a baby. Like, surprise.
So your parenting toward Savannah is how you were parented, or is it a little different?
I think the way I parent Savannah is a combination between how I was parented, but how I wanted to be parented.
Oh, okay.
I heard someone say once that you be the parent to your child that you needed. And so I think about that a lot. I'm like, okay, she is 11, she's in 6th grade, she's in middle school. Do I remember middle school? Yes, it wasn't that long ago because I had her at 19. Like, I'm not that old, I know. I don't look it.
She hates that, by the way. Her daughter hates it because everyone's like, is that your sister? That's your mother? And she's like, oh, stop saying it.
She said I have to wear a paper bag over my head when I come to her school.
Because everyone thinks you're the big sister, not the
and
mommy.
Apparently middle school boys think I'm hot. And
I'm done
she
hearing you.
She doesn't like that. So
I'm done hearing you. Savannah's friends think you're hot.
Yeah, so I have to wear a bag over my head and I have to wear a trash bag over my body. That's what she told me.
You should do that to Savannah. Just run up to the school with like trash bags.
She would be so
like,
embarrassed.
Savannah, I know.
But
so
no,
funny.
I think about who I needed. Like the kid I was in 6th grade, I was very much Savannah. You know, I was overweight, insecure. Just, I mean, the insecurity comes with the age already, right? But then you add in being overweight, being, you know, different. I have glasses. I'm black in an environment that isn't. Like, there are a lot of things. And so I think about who I needed my mother to be at that time. My mother was very much a hard ass, very type A, she knew what she knew and she didn't know what she didn't know. But if she didn't know it, it didn't exist.
And it wasn't real.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, that's the way it worked in my life. Yeah. So I try to be an open book with her, really. Like, we talk about what I went through when I was in 6th grade. We talk about some of the dumb shit I did, some of the dumb boys I talked to, some of the dumb choices I made, even down to her dad. You know, we've talked about, you know, we've had age appropriate honesty. Is how I, you know, like.
Cool. Let me ask you: are you with your kids? Is it age appropriate honesty as well? Are you honest with them?
I kind of keep it gangster with them.
Do you keep it gangster with them? It's the truth. It's real.
Because my kids, they favor me a lot. You know, with the way that they act. Just that's one thing. That's why I kind of feel like I have the bond with them because they do have their mothers in them, but my traits overpower, and this is why I stress my relationship with them because nobody knew how to, like you said, be the parent that you needed, and nobody knew how to be like that towards me, and so I cherish that with them. You know,
so you keep it real with them.
I understand their anger. I get their humor. You know, I comprehend their comprehension.
So you're the safe place for them. They're very safe with you. They'll tell you everything and anything. You don't get them in trouble for things that are like.
My daughter, mind you, I'm super protective over the women in my family, even more than the boys. And my daughter just told me about her first Valentine's. Some dude gave her.
Look at when he said some dude. Did you see the way he was like some dude? Your whole face changed. That's so funny.
He's such a dad.
He's actually the whole face changed like some dude. How old is she?
It's my older daughter. She's 10 now.
Okay, so she got a Valentine's Day, 10 years old, some dude.
Yeah.
And so she told you about it.
Yeah, she told everybody around her not to tell me, and even though it still got back to me before she told me. But I waited to see if she was going to tell me.
Sure, of course.
And sure enough, she
did.
Yeah.
And what was your response?
And I told her no boyfriends. You
boyfriends.
You could keep the gift. Y'all could be friends, but no boyfriends.
Yeah. She's 10 years old. She has no business having any kind of fake, I got a boyfriend at 10. Exactly. No, you don't. You were 10. Play with your Barbie.
Listen, my mom used to tell me all the time up until, because the rule was I could date at 16. So at 15, I was like, you know, Mom, I want a boyfriend. You know, why can't I have a... And my mom used to ask me all the time. She said, Kiara, what can you do with a boyfriend that you can't do with a friend besides have sex?
Hey.
Oh, so she kept it very real with you.
By the time I was that age.
Yeah, she kept it really real with you.
But it's a valid question. Like, it was... I really had to sit back and think, like, well, I can hold his hand. She's like, you can hold your friend's hand. She's not wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, what can you do with a boyfriend that you can't do with a friend besides have sex?
Yeah. It's hard nowadays too because the age groups that we're talking about, your kids are similar age groups. Things are, and not to scare you guys, but I see a lot of it because I work with a lot of children. Things are happening younger and younger and younger. The stuff that I started hearing, especially here in Las Vegas. Well, one thing, I don't want to compliment. We have the most trash school districts.
We do. Absolutely.
There's trash here in Vegas. Not good at all. I hate to say that, but there's drugs, pills, fentanyl, things going on in schools now. 9, 10, 11-year-olds. That in itself blows my mind. What does a 9, 10, and 11-year-old even know to even take a pill or to even know what fentanyl is or isn't, or know what a Xanax is? Like, that has to be an online thing.
Yeah.
It has to be so just learned online, because where else are they going to do this unless it's from their parents?
I got nothing. My child is so doggone sheltered.
She is so sheltered.
It is ridiculous how she's
so
not allowed
sheltered.
to have social media. That girl has never seen TikTok.
I know. I asked her daughter, like, because I was doing stuff for my media, my ads, and I said, Savannah, like, what's cool, like, in your age group? And the shit she started listing off, I was like, oh my God, like, you're gonna make the most uncool kid, even though she's so cool.
She's so cool. She's so popular, but she's so sheltered.
She's not in the whole, like,
No,
I thought she was gonna be like
she's
this
11.
on TikTok, that on this. She's an 11-year-old little
She is an
girl.
11-year-old girl, and
Yeah.
I make sure that she acts like an
She's
11-year-old little
still.
girl.
She's a baby still. Yeah.
Because she will have every opportunity to be an adult. She can be an adult for the rest of her life. She has forever to be an adult.
Yeah. So, oh, that door's locked. I don't know why she's getting that.
There you go.
Oh, were you telling us? I'm so sorry.
She
We
said
locked
she was
our
locked
producer
out. That's
out.
why I got up. I had to let her in.
That's why I'm
Thank
like,
you.
you know what? We haven't been to a commercial break.
My kids are here.
So we're gonna go to a commercial break, and guys, when we come back, we're gonna hear a little bit more about we heard about the struggles and all that, but we're gonna hear about some really good stuff. At any time, if you would like to book him for any work, we're gonna leave all of his contact information on the bottom of the screen so you guys can book him. He's got a lot of great stuff going on right now. He does live shows, private shows, all different shows. He is literally doing venues everywhere here in Las Vegas, breaking into the Los Angeles market, breaking into Atlanta, Georgia. We got New York City booked. Got a bunch of stuff going on for him right now. So, guys, yeah, he's amazing. We'll be right back.
Tap in.
Coolest cucumber. Hi, I'm Malik Brooks Bay, here to talk to you about our film Hip Hop Dreams. I'm so excited when I think about it. Cells in my body, they just scream out and they leap so much, my feet come off the ground. Yeah, man, I'm so excited to talk about it. I'm so excited to bring it to the theaters in 2025, but I need your help. Hip Hop Dreams is about these 5 guys surviving off heists, living in Las Vegas. And they realize that banks don't have much money in them nowadays, so it's not a viable option anymore. Banks got just debits and credits now. That's all it is, just a building with debits and credits. So they find a heist that's gonna set them up. It goes off, but not without complications. Now they're pursuing their dream. Nothing can stop them now. It's in bloom. The feds come, interrupt the dream. Now we have to go to part 2. Hip Hop Dreams, The Takeover, and then Hip Hop Dreams, World Domination. It's a 3-part series. So some people have called it a cross between Purple Rain, Player Club, and Takers. However, we need your help to bring Hip Hop Dreams to
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century. Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
I spent a month in New York and a month in Jamaica trading Tom Cruise and Brian Brown in a movie cocktail.
I want to do what that guy's doing. It made Flair mainstream.
Lights are set, judges are ready.
I stood there probably 20 minutes and just watched. I had goosebumps. It's so difficult, it's so extreme.
Somebody should do a documentary.
Showmanship has been a big part of bartending since day one.
And then Vegas just blew up because, entertainment capital of the world. I wanted to win.
$50,000, $100,000 purses at different competitions around the world.
I don't think people have ever really seen what we do to prepare for these things. Chapow. This is what it's all about.
So what went wrong? Egos took over and things were said which shouldn't have been said. It was going bigger and bigger and bigger.
There are growing fears of prolonged instability on Wall Street.
The money went out the window. You can sell a cocktail. You can't sell flair behind the bar. We had to deal with the prissy-ass bartenders.
We all want to be the best.
Well, my move is more difficult because I make it look easy.
Nights like tonight make me want to just stop competing because I don't think I'm cut out for it.
And I was standing there with my tooth broke right in half.
Why do I do this? Why do I suffer through this?
I don't really know why it's male-dominated.
There's absolutely male toxicity.
You want to play with glass, you're going to cut yourself.
Literally was up here and would touch bottom.
I spent a month in New York and a month in Jamaica trading Tom Cruise and Brian Brown in a movie cocktail.
I want to do what that guy's doing.
It made Flair.
Got Films is a full-service production company that provides motion picture quality content and production services for use in the film and TV industry. Looking for a seasoned crew, high-quality equipment, or other production services for your film, TV, commercial, corporate convention, sports, news, or interview project? Your search stops here. Some of our projects include NASCAR, American Restoration, Pawn Stars, Counting Cars, Top Chef, BattleBots, Forge and Fire, and Street Outlaws. We have also produced over 60 feature films and documentaries. We're ready for all your needs. Whatever your project, whatever your budget, big or small, Got Films got you. GotFilms.com.
Am I welcoming back? No, he's
Yes.
welcoming us back.
No, you're welcoming us back.
Yes, I'm welcoming us back.
Baby, tell me what's been going on. Tell me if it's something wrong. Can we just move on? I know I brought you pain. Emotionally, I've been drained. I don't even call you home. Hope you love me the same way. Tell me what's been going on. Tell me if it's something wrong. Can we just move on? I know I brought you pain. Emotionally, I've been drained. I don't even call you home. You love me the same way. I hope you love how I love you and all the love we making. Only time lasts forever. All losses ever changing. If you're loyal for me, my loyalty never changing. Hope your loyalty strong, got enemies contemplating. Look, baby, you know I'm the one to always take the high road. Aiming to the top so much I see it with my eyes closed. Nigga was a lame, he couldn't show you what your shine do. All I ask of you is that you show me what's inside you. Don't tell me you riding, I'ma think that you lying. Baby, I'm living proof and I need my proof provided. Baby, I'm from the the block where it get active and violent. And I'm never gonna stop it, nobody gon' stop it. I got gang riding with me, you know how we mobbin'. Black cloud every day screaming fuck any option. If you down for the game, then you know how we rockin'. Throw the down on the king and baby, know that I got it. Tell me if it's something wrong, then we just move on. I know I brought you pain, emotionally I've been drained. I don't even call you home, you love me the same way. Tell me what's been going on, tell me if it's something wrong, can we just move on? I know I brought you pain, emotionally I've been drained. I don't even call you home, you love me the same way. Baby, tell me what's been going on, why it always feel like I did something wrong. Probably did some shit that wasn't right, but I ain't do you wrong. Gave my best on every single night, think I deserve your all. Came up with some demons, I'm a heathen with a broken heart. Can you make it easy? Baby, can you tell me what's the reason? Can't be hard to hear it when I know that you can see it. Other niggas fraud, they couldn't show you to believe it. He the realest in the room, it ain't too small for you to leave him. Showed you that I got it, can you show me the same? Been through trials and tribulations, trying to find us a way. Is your feelings fucking with you or is nothing the same? The only thing about the future's about how much could you hold on. A better road to the stars coming. I know it's been a while, but you know that the dog coming. If you love me, hold me down through the times when it's hard for me. You don't need to hear you say it, just really go home. Baby, tell me what's been going on. Tell me if it's something wrong. Can we just move on? I know I brought you pain, emotionally I've been drained. I don't mean to call you home, you love me the same way. Tell me what's been going on. Tell me if it's something wrong. Can we just move on? I know I brought you pain, emotionally I've been drained. I don't mean to call you home, you love me the same way.
What's your credit card debt balance? If it's $10,000 or more, here are 3 easy solutions you can start implementing to...
I love that, guys. King New, guys, how can they check you out? Tell this camera right here how these guys can check you out.
So if you're looking for me, I'm on Instagram, The Real King New. I'm also on all platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, Amazon. Just look me under as King New. That song right there was Same Way. You could also check out my most recent single called Hate It featuring Buzzy 11th. We taking over the world, baby.
I love it. I am so excited that you were here with us today. Thank you so much for your story, and we should have you back hopefully soon to talk more about the other end. We ran out of time because you're fascinating, and I really appreciate you being here, Kira. Thank you so much always for being here with us, guys. A couple of announcements. Am I on the right camera, guys? Okay, I'm on the right camera. A couple of announcements. Again, like I said before, if you're looking to do any kind of hosting, social media shows, or looking for hosts, this Saturday coming up, which I believe is the 8th. Is that correct? Yeah, it's the 8th from 12 to 3 o'clock. Maria will be at the studio looking for hosts. Please have something prepared for her, or she'll give you something when you get there. If you guys are looking for the International Model and Talent Association Friday at 5 o'clock. So this Friday, 5 o'clock, International Model and Talent Association. Saturday is Maria. Guys, if you're new and you're new to me, Rise Talent LLC on Instagram is the best way to get in touch with me. www.risetalentmanagement.com. Dawn Sullivan, find me on Rise Talent Facebook as well. Guys, I appreciate all of the viewers. I appreciate social media shows so much for having and letting us be heard on this platform. Please continue to log in. We are starting up our Zoom sessions on Rise Talent already, and a huge shout out to Texas Battle. I want to thank you so much, Texas. I wouldn't be able to do 100% of what I do at Rise without you. We love you. Thank you so much for everything you put into the adults, to the kids, everything, and your support. I couldn't do Rise without you. So thank you. Shout out to Tara. I love you guys so much. We'll see you next week.